Hi everybody, and welcome to Snohomish, Washington. It's about 60 degrees out right now, and it's very much a late summer day here in Snohomish, where fall hangs in the air. Although the calendar tells us we're not quite there yet. We are certainly closing in. You'll hear the sounds of passing traffic, and you may also hear the sound of Canada geese. The snow geese aren't here just yet. And 4 of you are on board. Welcome, 3 of you. Fantastic, welcome to Snohomish tonight. I was live just a moment ago, and my friend Dayron Johnson, Snowco_scanner, jumped in because I gave him a heads up. It turns out I had the setting on unlisted, so it was largely just he and I. But he gave me some excellent feedback. So I'm using not using the YouTube app, I'm using Streamlabs mobile app. Streamlabs OBS is a popular PC live streaming platform for gamers. Streamlabs also makes the mobile app. And so that's what I'm using tonight. How are you all doing? And it's 7:19, so technically we're 2 minutes away from sunset, and we're not going to see the sun. But what a relief it is to have these clouds and cooler temperatures. What an extreme we've gone to in the past couple of weeks or so. We were having so much forest fire smoke combined with real warm, hot temperatures, if you will. And Paige is here and says, now it showed up as public. Thank you, Paige. Triple tall. I really appreciate that. Wonderful. I had the wrong setting. It had defaulted back to unlisted in the prior broadcast a few minutes ago. And Dayron gave me the heads up. That was excellent feedback. Lynn says she's looking for he or she, I'm sorry. I've known a Lynn with that name as well in spelling. Public and 1080p, right on, Dayron. So this is part of the great news, you guys, is that we're streaming in 1080p, which is just fantastic. Here's a plane that's just left Harvey Field. A few moments ago, there were tandem skydivers. Just before sunset, that was a nice scene. Oftentimes I come down here with my camera, my mobile phone, mounted atop my DSLR, all on a tripod. Not tonight. I'm wearing my DSLR around my neck. If I can show you that, here I am. So I got the DSLR around the neck tonight. And I have had this happen a few times where I kind of go with this setup, but make the decision to do so. And it really paid off in its own way last December 26th, when we got some amazing moments with snow geese and the mountains in the distance. So let's go back to the view around. By the way, it's great to have you here tonight. Yeah, but 1080p, that is phenomenal to be out and about. So I've got the phone on a gimbal and the camera around my neck. And we've got a lot of Canada geese in the area. Just last night, they were all in this field, many of them. And a lot of them now are just in nearby fields, closer to where the Snohomish River is located, which is just beyond, say, those tall trees across the field. And I'll have to do some live streams over there as we get deeper into the year, as I have done in past years, especially at Twilight, because this time of year, you'll get the Canada geese flying right overhead. Good to know that the snow geese should be on their way, and I expect them to arrive probably second or third week of October. I think that's what happened last year, but it all depends on the winds as they make their way here from Russia. I was saying in the last broadcast, I really do have to keep my head on a swivel because, a lot of a lot of birding activity goes on during this hour before total darkness as they make their way to their areas where they're going to spend the evening. Looks and sounds good. Hey, Deb. Thank you. That's the one thing about using the gimbal is I can't wear my, with this phone set up because it's so large, I can't wear my wireless mic, but I think by and large you're hearing me pretty well. Apparently you're saying you do, so that's great. Now, I'm 6'4", you guys, and I'm holding the phone fully extended over my head, and we still can't quite see over the corn entirely. Do you see my tree over there somewhere? It's in that general direction. I say my tree, but you know, one of the really cool things, you guys, knock on wood, is doing this on YouTube. I'm not having to worry about the bots that we have on Periscope, right? The prevalence of bots. So much better than Scope Mark. That is great to hear, Dayron. Well, I'm really encouraged, and I want to do a lot more of this. That's why the thumbnail that you saw prior to me going live, if you tuned in before this broadcast, or you might see it afterwards, shows my tree and not the sunset, but it says Mark Horner live in the field, because I'm literally in the field. But that's also a very popular term when you're a reporter, as I was for many years, out in the field, so to speak. So, question, Deb, question, Dayron. I think the answer for Dayron's going to be no. But anybody watching who has watched who's watched Periscopes before, have you tapped the screen expecting to give a heart? I know when I've watched broadcasts on YouTube or even on Instagram or Facebook, I start tapping. I guess it works on Facebook. But anyhow, it's kind of an interesting habit, isn't it? I'm gonna go check out the sunflowers. Some of you may know who live in the area that there was another motorcycle fatality on this road, Springhetty Road, in the last week or so. Guy was clipped by a motorist backing out of his driveway. And thank you, Deb. I am outstanding. I'm literally outstanding and out walking, for that matter. Thank you. Yeah, Dayron, I kind of knew it was going to be that way. You know you can turn those hearts off as well for you. Remove them from the screen. But I did not come down to check out the active scene when there was the motorcycle fatality. Speaking of motorcycles, I think we might have one hauling down the road here now. Or maybe it's just a regular... No, I think it might be a motorcycle. But I'll show you where I believe that accident happened because the fence was wiped out. They probably repaired it by now. So coming up behind me, I'll turn in just a moment. We'll see what we have. Hey, Ray's in here with hearts. Paige has brought some coffee. Hey, you guys, thank you. There goes the bike. They're going at a reasonable rate. Isn't this outstanding? Deb and Ray, you should notice that the picture quality is better than on Periscope. At least earlier in this broadcast, we were at 1080p. Hopefully, we're maintaining that. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you where I think this motorcycle accident happened, the fatality the other day. I think it was right at this place that you're looking at across the street. And just where their large tree is along the road, you can barely make out some white down there. There's a white picket fence, and I came down later that day, several hours, so I knew the scene would have been cleared, and it was all cracked and crumbled. So I suspect that's where that fatality happened. And strangely, or sadly enough, I should say, and by the way, we're right by the Christmas tree farm. Sadly enough, that would only put it about 150, 200 yards away from the memorial. It's just by the vehicle just over here. It still is on the ground for the last motorcyclist that was killed out here. Went plowing through a field of corn. What was it, last year? Now, what would make this wonderful? And this is always, it's always a pleasure to be live with you guys, but you never know about the surprises, right? Sometimes everything just seems kind of calm and and just like it may not be going anywhere, a lot more of the same, if you will, and then something takes over. And in the past, we've had incredible unexpected moments with snow geese. But I just know that there are a lot of Canada geese out in fields toward the river, over this way and over this way. And they often take flight at twilight, I would say, about 30 minutes past sunset. Always see Periscope on the itty bitty phone. YouTube on my laptop, YouTube always looks better to me. Oh, that's great feedback. Great feedback. Well, what's going to be interesting to me, well, actually, I think I already know the answer. So this setup that I have right now, I'm using an app called Streamlabs, and I have opted to include alerts. So if anybody was to subscribe watching this live or make a donation, you would see an animated GIF. And again, this is a real popular app with gamers. So the GIFs really aren't they really aren't my style, but I like the idea of having some GIFs. But I don't know, like animated brief appearances by animated cartoon characters with sound effects, ding 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 kind of a thing is my thing. But I tell you what, my son Bradley, and he may be watching, he's a youngster, he told me, "No, Dad, those are cool." Let's see that harvest machine to your left. Oh, you got it. Ask and you shall receive. Very clear and vibrant. Oh, that's awesome, Ray. And this is low light. You guys, Ray, Deb, Dayron, who live in the area, you know what it's like outside right now. It looks brighter in the phone. I guess it gets it done in a jiffy. I'm guessing that that's where the corn lands inside that. No? We can check out the stuff across the street. Okay. A few Canada geese flying by here. See, they're headed to where the other ones are. Looks way good in low light. Thank you, Dayron. Yeah, it's just crazy. I imagine somebody else south of here across the country, they're saying, "It's still light there?" Yes, it is, but it's not as light as this phone, this app make it look. I'm gonna keep going a bit deeper into the evening here because I'm hoping that the Canada geese will take flight like they typically do at twilight. Some familiar farm equipment to those of you who've watched me over the years on Periscope or checked out my photos, or maybe you live in the area and you just see this as you make your drive down Springhetty. I really like the way the comments appear on this app. It's so easy to read your comments. So Dayron, I was thinking, correct, I had made you a mod, hadn't I, some time ago, earlier this year. So I'm wondering if you would be able to block anybody who was inappropriate. That would be good to know. Where do the corn stalks go? That's a great question. I don't know the answer. 0-0 in the M's game. Playing the Angels again, right? Have I got that right? I think, what is this, game 2 of a series? I don't even know if it's a 3 or 4 game series. You can see the soil on this still, huh? Well, not so much. It's on there, but it's pretty darn clean. Oh, it's the, well, you say A's. I said Angels. You said A's, so now you're either abbreviating Angels or it's the Athletics. I wonder what experiences will unfold here behind the camera. I wanted to point out that I wonder if we might just get a little small isolated area of rain. You seeing this on your radar, Dayron? Dayron does an excellent job of following local weather. He's got radars and other scanner and weather related equipment. Sorry, multitasking. It's the Angels. No worries. Thank you for the clarification. I'll tell you what, the cows were all up the hillside there in the distance when I arrived, but they've gone downhill. Literally, just down the hill. You can see a couple of white spots there to the right beyond the edge of the corn. But there are several cows actually out there, just out of view. Let's take a look toward Lord Hill. So I imagine you folks are glad the weekend is here. Hopefully that means if you're a person who still works that you've got the weekend off. Anybody have anything exciting planned? Anything of interest? No weather in Snohomish County to mention, just cool looking clouds. All right, thank you, Dayron. Here's what's left of a memorial. It still gets maintained at least a year later with some flowers appearing for the last motorcyclist who was killed on this roadway. I remember when this one happened, it was during a time of year where the corn was still standing and the motorcyclist literally went into that corn and just plowed through it, if you will. Well, this has been a really enjoyable moment, both to share the outdoors with you, but also to learn that this app works so well in producing a quality picture where the signal is available, and apparently this is such a place. Who knows, maybe I'll get a better signal at Shadow Lake, which is where the swans are during the wintertime. That would be phenomenal, because oftentimes on Periscope I really struggle to get a signal out from Shadow Lake, and it's such a beautiful location to see the swans there. Love to share that live when I can, if the picture is good enough. So we'll check that out in the coming months. And look for more from me on YouTube. I'll be doing some stuff out and about like this, but I'll also be doing some stuff from home and sometimes with guests via Skype. Or if they have Discord, we would do that. So just wonderful. I'm hearing geese. Murphy's Law says as soon as I end the broadcast, that's when the geese will take off and fill the sky. All right, my friends, thank you so much for spending a part of your evening with me. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see you again very soon here on YouTube. Take care, everybody, and thank you so much for watching. More color like Index last year. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I did go live from Index with a very weak signal, but you guys were able to see me. I was on the bridge over the river there. We'll give that a shot too. I got some great photos up there, by the way. If anybody's interested in checking them out, my photography website is markhornerphotography.com. Okay. See everything very clear, even with low light. Wow, Dayron, that is amazing. Looks like we got a motorcyclist. Gauge the speed. I think it's slowing down because I'm here. I was saying this the other day, the pity is that so oftentimes it seems that motorcyclists, not all, not most, but several, get on these rural roads and they think they're all alone and it's safe. Okay, I'm hearing geese stirring, so I'm going to hang on. I would love to see the big group go out. $70. I'm hearing the geese. There's a commotion. Some of them have just taken flight. Let's see if we can pick this up. So over the next half hour, that's what's going to happen, are these stirrings of groups of Canada geese that leave the field. This is what typically happens about, what did I say, about a half hour into twilight. Dayron, please remind me, what's the 70 in reference to? Ha, snow cone. Can see the mountains way in the distance and can see the geese clearly. Wow. I missed a joke. Was it on me? Could you guys just imagine this though? We have a good signal like this and there's some like a big, local breaking news event or some really interesting weather. Oh, 70 was your guess on the... Thank you. Yeah, he seemed to be going... I don't know if he was going 70, but he was up there, Dayron. I did ask that question. Thank you. Dayron, I also changed the delay speed. One of the settings, which was on my YouTube page. It's kind of tricky, so I can't go into the YouTube app and change the settings for this broadcast. I'm using the Streamlabs app. I can't do that either. I have the specific settings regarding public and unlisted and private. So I literally just use Google Chrome to access the account, and thank goodness I could, so I could do another one of these. I did ask to guess. Better now. Okay. You know what, Dayron? It feels humid. Deb, did you go for your walk tonight? Did you take the dog for the walk? Did it feel humid to you? Because right now here, it feels humid. And the thing about the rain we've had in the last several days, after no rain for months it felt like, it really has just kind of set the ground on fire in terms of bringing up the aroma from the soil. So not literal fire, but just really the pungent smell of earth with all the things that are mixed into all of that good stuff have just seemed to have risen from the soil. Right on, Dayron. Take care. Thank you so much for your participation. You're recovering from the flu, but it feels humid. Sorry you had the flu. I hope you feel much better. Okay, my friends, I'm going to call it a night. Deb, I do hope you feel better, so you wouldn't have gone for a walk if you're recovering from the flu. Hopefully you'll be out there again soon. And I'll probably be doing some stuff from Mukilteo with this approach as well. Anyhow, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. So long.